Right, we shall carry on with this paper. This was done quite some time ago. Worksheet 1, Life Cycle of Plants, Chapter 2. Right, this is for the purpose of revision and corrections if anyone still have not understood. Now the picture below shows the cross section of a papaya. Which part will grow into a new plant, right? Obviously, they are the seeds, the seeds. So it is 3. Number 3, seeds, right? Over here, and the answer is this, right? Okay, next we carry on. Now, which of the following statement about life cycles of plants is true? Now, the baby plant can grow without the seed leaves. Now, for here, this is a bit confusing. You can say baby plant could mean, does it mean the seedling, right? Baby, that means seedling, or does it mean the young plant, right? If it means the seedling, then it can grow without the seed leaves. But if it's a young plant, then it doesn't need the seed leaves. Okay, by the time the seed leaves would have been exhausted, no more seed leaves, right? The leaves, the actual leaves of the young plant would what you call that, start to make food by itself. Now I would ignore A first, right? As I see only this part here, A, right? Now to know whether A is true or not true, I look at the others, right? Won't be so worried now. A seedling with leaves is able to make food in the absence of sunlight. In the absence of sunlight. Can it make food? Right? Leaves must make food in the presence of sunlight. Okay, so B is not entirely or totally correct. Definitely not correct. Now, so if you see anything with B, you know that it's not right. Okay, so this is not right. This is not right. Right? So it means 2 is not right, and 4 is not correct. So we are left with C and CD. Okay, now the shoot emerges after the root of a seed, after the root of the seed. Okay, this is true, so this is correct and this is correct. The final is to test on whether D is correct. Now, even if D is correct over here, it makes no difference because B is there and it's wrong. Now let's take a look at D. Some plants can be grown using roots. Just hang on first, Okay, if you take a look at through the internet, it says that plants can be grow more plants with root cuttings. It means that you can grow, right, new plants from cutting the roots, right, and plant it elsewhere, and the new plant, okay, will grow. Okay, so for that is true. Okay. So D is correct, and leaves the C is correct. C is correct here. C, okay, right, and D is correct. D is correct. Okay, right. Leaves to answer 3. Let's carry on next. Now the diagram below shows. Okay, just excuse me. Right, the growth stages, life cycle of a flowering plant, seed, young plant, adult plant. Okay, it goes as a cycle. Which of the following plants have a life cycle similar to the one above? It means it must grow by seed. Okay, not spores. Right, in that case, you look at the bottom here, moss. Right, so it is chili plant with flowers, mango with flowers, coconut with flowers. So A, B, C is correct, right? So the answer here is 4. Let's carry on. Go to question number 4. Right, 4. What are the conditions required for a seed to start to grow into a young plant, right? For seed to germinate. Now, obviously, light is not needed. Light is not needed. Okay, not necessary. So I gotta cross out this. Okay, this is not needed. So number 2 is wrong. Okay, and over here number 3 is not right. just one is not right, then the rest, the whole set of answers is not right. So it leaves us to A, B, D, or this one says, oh, this is the same. This one talk about E. There is no E over here. Now minerals is another one which is not needed because the water is being soaked in and inside. All right, inside. Okay, the seed. Now inside the, let's say for example you plant some green seeds, green bean seeds. Okay, then you just add water will do. Okay, you just need water, and air is present all the time, and the right temperature, warmth. Okay, so it leaves us with this answer. Minerals is not necessary. Next. Now, which of the following statements are true? A seed only needs to have warmth, okay, fine, warm water before it can start to grow into a young plant. Okay, of course, there's another fact. It needs air also, right? There's something we have to be alert. Okay. Then later on, let's take a look. Green bean seeds will give rise to black bean plants. This is totally wrong. So any answers with B is wrong. All right. So we are left with 1 and 4 to choose from. Right. Let's get on with C. A root grows out of the seed first. Correct. When it is planted in the ground. Yeah, even though you don't plant it in the ground, you still get out the seed first. It's fine. Okay, this is correct in some ways, right? Now let's take a look here. There are 3 stages in life cycle of a plant. This is correct. Anything with D is correct. Okay, this is definitely correct. Now the roots grow out of the seed when when it is planted in the ground is correct, right? So look here. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. Okay. Now over here, there's air is needed. AIR. Air is needed, which is left out. So this is wrong. This with 2 tick. Alright. This is the answer. I hope you can slowly read during your exams. Okay, one by one, and eliminate. Alright. Take away those strike off those options there which you're very sure that they are wrong. Okay, then you can narrow down to your choices into 1 or 2. Okay, or probably 2. Okay, then choose from there. Let's carry on. Sorry. Okay, Daniel observed and recorded the changes in the green bean, okay, placed in the moist cotton wool. Here moist means it is wet. Okay, note wet. Okay, arrange in his observation in the order of appearance. Okay, we got to be very slow. Okay, search on, do it very slowly. Yeah, the food stored in the seed leaves gets used up. All right, I think this is later on. The bean absorbs water, swells, and the seed coat cracks open. Now this is the first thing to happen. B will be the first one to happen. Let's take a look at the second one to happen. Okay. Now second one to happen according to choices here can be A, E, right, or E here, or C. So it can be A, okay, E, or C, just after B. Can you see? Alright, so the next one they say is A. So the food stored in the seed leaves get used up. Maybe not. A tiny shoot grows upwards. I think the root should comes out first, right? So 2 green leaves appear. No. A root grows downwards in search of water, more water. Right? So after B, it should be E. Okay. So it is either this, your answer, or this. It means 2 or 3. Right? Right, let's take a look again. After that should be C or C, yeah? Both say C. A tiny, after the root, a shoot will grow. Okay, both are true. This is true, and this is true. Now the next, this says A, right? The other one says it is D. Okay, now after the shoot grows, the leaf should appear. Okay, this says the leaf appear. That says the fruit store and the seed leaf should gets used up. Huh? Okay, now the leaf appear first. Okay, then it get used up. Alright, so this number 3 is the answer. Right, hope you rewind that again and pause it and look over, understand deep, into it, and read more about how the conditions are, what the conditions are for seed to germinate, and get used to this sequence. Right, next. Number 7, 2 identical seeds are placed in a dish as shown below. These two, okay, they got to be identical, dish identical. Now after a few days only, dish B germinated. This germinated, it means this dish B must have had the right condition, air, food and water. This one, something might not have been supplied. Okay, now let's take a look. If this is placed under the sun and watered daily, right? If it's placed under the sun and watered daily, most likely it may germinate, right? But not necessarily direct under sun, but it's being watered. Okay, it's most likely, but let's take a look at B, right? Now placed in the refrigerator and watered daily. Now this is not right? It germinated first, so this is not right. If one of them is not right, this is definitely not the choice. Let's take a look at B. Placed in the dark cupboard and watered daily, very likely. Placed under the sun without water, worse, right? And why it does not germinate? Okay, because it's not being watered. Alright, so 2 is very likely the answer. However, please have the habit of going through the rest of the choices. Now placed in a container of alcohol, no. Okay, the seed would have been affected, right? And some would have been so-called killed, alright, for this overdose of alcohol. Was put in the boiled water, definitely wrong. Next, was put in airtight container and not watered, right? Now, even for airtight container, there will be probably still sufficient air, okay, for a seed to germinate. However, no water, it means it should not germinate. Hence, the answer is this to take 2. Right? Next. The diagram below shows, a life cycle of a plant. 3, right? Seed, young plant, adults. Which of the following plants have, it means one or two of the plants, a life cycle similar to the one above here. Now let's take a look. This one by seed. This is by seed. Tomato plant has flowers, so it's by seed. Bird nest fern by spores. Balsam plant, seed. Sunflower plant, seed. So which one has a life cycle similar to the one above? It is A. Wow, this is a bit tricky. Let me think for a while. Very quickly, I knew straight away that B is not right because it hasn't got any seed, but it's by spores. So any answers with B is wrong. Okay, now if it's only A only, this is not right. Alright, because balsam plant has flowers and sunflowers. Okay, so the answer is 4. Next, 9. The diagram below shows, okay, the growth of the young plant with missing stages. This is obviously very easy. This should be the seed. This should be the seedling which has sprout out the shoot, all right, with probably small leaves. Let's take a look at the bottom. Okay, so it is 3. Answer is 3. Right, let's carry on. Next, 10. All right, let's do it slow. Susan conducted an experiment to find out whether the amount of water will affect the growth of seeds. So the test is the amount of water. Right, can you see here? Amount of water, whether lesser water, more water, or somewhere just right. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Let's continue from here. So how the amount of water affect the growth of the seeds. Now she placed a few seeds in each of the 4 containers. Right, the containers are here: A, B, C, and D. Right, the table shows the amount of water. Right, 5 milligram, 5 milliliters, 10 milliliters, 5 and 15. Okay, now of course to compare the amount how water affects the amount of water has got to be different, right, in the containers. Now let's take a look, and in each of the day it water the plant each of the day. It also shows which container receive air and sunlight. All right, now which container should she use if she wants to find out whether the amount of water will affect the growth of the seed? Okay, it means water is different, but the other condition for air and sunlight must be the same. Okay, look here. Right, these two are the same, right? Sunlight, the presence of sunlight, the presence of air, and water is different. Most likely is A and B. It cannot be C and A because they are same amount of water. Neither can it be, for example, B and D. Although the amount of water is different, 10 and 15, right? But you see over here, it has air, it has sunlight, but over here it doesn't have any air, only sunlight. So the obvious is number 1, container A and B. Let us continue from here. Right, section B, fill in the blanks with the suitable answers. Look at the pictures below. Right, this pointing definitely at the inner part of the coat. The coat is here, right, and this is the seed leaves, the cotyledons. Now, part X, how is it useful to the young plant at this stage of growth? So part X provides, all right, provides. It doesn't make food, but it provides food for the seedling. Which state of growth of the plant cycle is shown in the picture above? Okay, it is the young stage, okay, or the seedling. All right, it's not the seed, right? It is the young stage, where the early part of the young stage, right, where you can call it the seedling, all right, or the young stage. The other stage will be the adult stage, where it can reproduce. Next. Okay, for this it says draw a simple diagram of the life cycle of flowering plant in the box. So over here, flowering plant, of course you are not required to draw out the plant, but the labeling, it means the labeling must be correct. You got to be seed, and here it has to be young plant. All right, I missed out the plant. Write down the plant here, young plant and the adult plant. Okay, and you must have a title says life cycle of a flowering plant. Right, just 3 stages. Now name the process which a seed starts developing into seedling. All right, it's called germination. Next, 3B. A plant needs light, water, sunlight, and nutrients to survive. Okay, a plant, it means probably they're referring to plant as a whole, including the stage of the plant, probably an adult. All right, it needs light for photosynthesis. Now, Are the things that the plant needs to survive the same throughout its life cycle? Now this means when it is a seed, it is a seedling, alright, does it need light, water, sunlight and nutrients to survive or to grow? Okay, the answer is no. Okay, because for example the seedling does not need sunlight. Okay, whether there's a presence of light or not, no light, it will germinate so long you give it air, food and water. Okay, because it need not have light, it hasn't got any leaves, it gets its food from the seed leaves. Okay, next, number 4. Read the following statement carefully. Write true or false, okay, in the last column provided here. Seedlings can produce flowers. No, it's false. Seedlings are young plant, only the adult plant can do it. Next, a seed contains a supply of stored food within, okay, for its growth, right? A seed contains a supply of stored food. True, alright? That's where the seed leaves is, okay, supplying food for germination. The shoot of a plant appears after the root emerges. True. Next, a seed needs sunlight, water and air to grow. A seed needs sunlight. No, not necessary. It does not, whether you have light, it does not affect, okay, the needing of sunlight to grow. Just water and air and the food is being supplied, alright, by the seed leaves. So this is false. Let's carry on. Next. Okay, I believe this part has been done somewhere, okay, for another chapter, so we stop here for a while.